headline-grabbing protest in the Spanish Parliament. The disturbance last October, orchestrated by the feminist group Femen, graphically illustrated the anger felt by some over planned reforms to abortion law. The centre-right government aims to reverse legislation introduced by its socialist predecessor in 2010, effectively limiting the circumstances in which abortion can be carried out. It's a controversial proposal in a country where 120,000 terminations are performed annually, the highest rate in Europe. A poll carried out by leading newspaper Pais shows a big majority against the idea. Isabel Serrano speaks for a campaign that brings together some 250 groups opposed to changing the law.
The way it is in the country, with the law as it is, the problems have been minimised. Women can have abortions in a way that's safer for their health and more fairly, because in each of the autonomous regions the state will pay for terminations. There hasn't been a great rise in abortions, only a small increase. When something works well, we can't see any legal, health or social reasons to change the law.
The current law allows abortion on demand up to 14 weeks and up to 22 weeks if the fetus appears seriously deformed or if the mother's physical or mental health are at risk. The majority of terminations are carried out in private clinics and paid for by the state. Under the government's plans, the procedure could only be performed in cases of rape or where the mother's health is seriously at risk, and up to a limit of 14 weeks. For this private practitioner, it's a backward step.
For the first time in years, the woman will have to abide by the decisions of others, a doctor, a judge, who have no regard for her personal convictions or her intimate feelings. This bill will completely obliterate the free will of women. Inevitably, this will create two different situations. The woman who has the economic means will go abroad, where she'll have an abortion with all the legal and health guarantees. The woman who doesn't have these means will be condemned to an illegal abortion, without legal or health guarantees.
Olga deals with patients' relations at this private clinic. She herself had a termination in the 1980s, not long after it was legalized in Spain in cases of rape, deformation of the fetus, and physical or psychological risks to the health of the mother.
With the information I had at the time, I had lots of doubts. Will there be complications? What should I do? Will I be arrested? Will the whole world know? Will they see it in my face? After I'd had the operation, all I felt was huge relief.
Today's law has tackled the legal uncertainties and social taboos, but fear of stigma still exists. In another clinic, a 15-year-old girl and her mother have agreed to talk to us, their identities concealed. Minors under 16 need the approval of parents or legal guardians to have an abortion. But this girl tells us her mind is clear on the issue.
I'm too young to have a child. It's not always an easy decision, but for me, it's not a problem. It's very hard for me to watch my daughter go for an abortion, but she's at an age where she doesn't want to be a mother, so I would have supported her whatever decision she took.
A woman's rights over her own body aren't a convincing argument for this couple who belong to an anti-abortion group and who have 7 children of their own.
This is a scan of a baby that Esperanza lost at 2.5 months. We told our kids it was a little brother or sister, that we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, but that it was in heaven now with God. We keep it with the other kids' photos.
For Luis and his wife, no arguments, legal, health or financial, can justify abortion. For them, the government's proposed reforms don't go far enough.
In Spain, abortion must be an offence and should not be decriminalised. The mother always needs help, even more so when she's pregnant, because she's carrying a human being. And they really don't want the baby, they can give it up for adoption. But really, she can't think of killing her baby.
With abortion, we put in process the extermination of our own civilization. It's one of the greatest mistakes our society makes.
The ultimate target for the Right to Live campaign is zero abortions. Its coordinator says the government should at least outlaw terminations in cases of fetal deformities. It should also create a national adoption plan and support pregnant women facing social exclusion.
It seems unfair to deny a child the right to life for economic reasons. In Spain, we spend between 40 and 50 million euros per year on abortions, and zero to help pregnant women with problems.
A recent study says more than a quarter of women who have abortions in Spain do so for economic reasons. The Madrina Foundation works with pregnant women and mothers in difficulty. They can provide food and lodgings and help with job seeking. They even have a network of godmothers to counsel pregnant women.
In times of financial crisis, aid for mothers is always the first to go. That leads to a major crisis. The future starts with helping young mothers so they can have a home, a job, and training.
These young women are mothers of one or more children. They're studying here in the hope of getting into university. The foundation has helped them to rise out of poverty. Most oppose abortion on economic grounds, but they have mixed views on some of the issues involved.
I used to think that if I got pregnant while young, I'd have an abortion, because there's a time for having babies and there's a lot of things I want to do, like university. But I don't know, when I got pregnant I felt it, and I couldn't have an abortion. One case where I do support abortion is if the baby has problems. When I had the test for Down syndrome, I was very clear I would terminate if there was a problem.
And after rape?
Oh no, I wouldn't keep it. If it was from someone who'd harmed me and made me suffer, no, I wouldn't keep it.
There's no common ground in Europe on abortion. With national laws varying, the European Parliament has recently declined to vote on a report that recommended making abortion a fundamental right.